Hey, Coastline Small Group. My name's Danny, and I'm the worship apprentice here at Coastline. If we haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, I really look forward to the moment when we do. So this week we explored how hope in Christ's return doesn't let us escape into the future, it actually transforms how we live now. So Paul writes to the old churches, talking about how talking to people who are spiritually grieving, who are weary, who are asleep, and he just encourages us, guys. If we have hope for Christ's return, if we are saved in Him, then we should be living with that joy, with that excitement, like we are saved. He says that we should be preview people, that we should give others who don't necessarily know about the gospel yet a taste of what heaven will be like. So I'll just tell a little story about myself. Last year, I was at a Bible college in Abbotsford, and I remember going in, and I was really excited for the year. Didn't know what was going to happen, and I met this girl. Right? Oh man, I met this girl. And at that time, I was still like living like a teenager, right? Waking up late, doing all this stuff. But the fact that I met her and I, had a crush on her. I really wanted to improve myself in order to give myself the best chances of, getting to know her better, maybe even becoming a boyfriend. Didn't happen, spoiler alert. But with that being said, I started implementing things in my routine that just helped my overall health. Like I started waking up earlier, started going to the gym, started eating healthier. All this to give myself the best chances. And because I was so expectant that I would be, in love with this girl and that it would work out. And so I was just doing all I could because I was so excited, right? I was looking at the big picture and I was trying to focus on small steps. Okay, if this is where I want to be, then how can I, work on that now? And it was just causing this excitement and this motivation that I didn't previously have before. Paul relates that to the church. It's like if we are expecting, this big, we're saved, right? Romans 10:13, everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. If we're expecting this big thing, eternity, right? Like that's huge. We should be living in excitement with hope. And that hope should cause us to live for Him and show people stuff that they may not have necessarily seen before. As I mentioned before, we're preview people, right? We give people a glimpse of heaven and how it's supposed to be. I'm just going to read a passage for you guys right now. It's 1 John 3, 2-3. Dear friends, we are already God's children, but He has not yet shown us what we will be like when Christ appears. But we do know that we will be like Him, for we will see Him as He really is. And all who have this eager expectation will keep themselves pure, just as He is pure. Yeah, guys, we're children of God, right? As I mentioned before, Romans 10:13, everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. Right now, we are children of God. In the future, the passage says, like it has not yet been made known what we will be. But in the meantime, we're called to be different from the world, right? We're called not lulling into complacency of what culture tells us what to do, but we are called to a higher position, and we are kind of God's spokespeople in this time. While we are not yet in heaven, we are here on earth kind of giving people a glimpse of what that may be. Verse 3, hope causes us to stay pure. Like, guys, that hope that we're going to get to eternity, that it's going to be just everything that we've ever hoped for, and God's just, death is just a temporary thing, right? Like Paul writes to the people who are grieving for the loss of someone they loved. Like obviously, yeah, if someone dies in your life, that's horrible and you're going to grieve. But at the same time, like we have the hope as Christians that we're going to see them again, right, in heaven. So with that hope, like let's put that forward, right? Let's put that hope forward and just be this light to the world, and especially dark times. That's what God calls us to, right? To a higher spot. So I just have some questions and some insights for y'all. Paul says, hope in Christ's return should comfort the grieving, alert the sleeping, and strengthen the weary. So for you, what does that look like? What kind of season, if you had to pick one of those, are you in right now? Are you grieving? Are you weary, or are you sleepy, right? Because there's different kind of seasons for that. And so that's just one question, just something to think about. Like, oh man, am I kind of lulling into this space of, am I taking too much time to grieve? Am I weary? Am I not really doing too much, or am I spiritually asleep? Like, am I kind of indifferent to what's going on right now? So that's just something to think about. The second one is the call is to rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and give thanks in all circumstances, not as empty commands, but as expressions of living hope. Which of these three feels hardest to you right now? And what would it look like to practice it this week as a preview of God's kingdom? Just something to think about. And then one application, I mean, you can choose one way that you could be a preview person this week. I don't know what that looks like in your routine. Maybe you are already showing off kind of God's kingdom to other people, which is awesome. But like, what does that look like? Could you be more into that, right? Like, could you go, for example, go volunteer at like a food bank, or could you go and minister to people, or could you go help out where help is needed? And how can you display God's love actively through that, right? So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for listening, and hope to catch you soon. Thanks.